Into the Fog is a year-round podcast dedicated to covering Halloween Horror Nights Orlando.
From speculation season and announcements to opening night and the final screams of the event, we break down everything HHN.
Follow along for weekly discussions, rumors, news, and all things Halloween Horror Nights.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Into the Fog, an HHN podcast. I'm your host, Woody, and with me, as always, my co-host, Dustin.
What's going on, everybody? You can catch us at our socials at Into the Fog Pod on both IG and TikTok, and Into the Fog HHN on X and YouTube. Click the link tree below, and we'll have it all our socials attached to it.
And this week, we got Originals Week. And with that, we got 4 more original houses announced. We now have 7 out of the 10 houses for the year. And to end cap all of Spooky Week, HNN dropped a brand new spec map with updated locations and new house icons. And also with each original house drop this week, there was an article paired with it from different news outlets. And so that first house we got announced this week, it was announced Monday, June 22nd at the normal 10:35, and it was HR Bloodengutz Presents a Halloween Fright-Tacular. And according to the HNN spec map, it is now located at tent number 2. And that house description for this house is: tune in to a curated selection of HR Bloodengutz Halloween favorites. And this haunted house, complete with ghouls, gore, and all frights that keep you coming back for more. So, D, why don't you give us a brief history lesson on Bloodengutz, Mr. Larry Kurtzenberg?
So, according to HHN Wiki, HR Bloodengutz was a host of a house from HHN 21 back in 2011. The name of the house was HR Bloodengutz Presents Holiday of Horror. Main character was Larry Kurtzberg, or HR Bloodengutz. He was a Broadway performer in the 30s, was very successful, but later he retired to be a taxidermist. But then in the 70s, he wanted more fame, so he went to intern to a talent agency in Cary, Ohio, which we've both discussed on previous episodes, is where everything HHN happens. It's where everybody's from. And later he had a missed phone call from his talent agent, who is Lady Luck in disguise, landed him a gig working for the Channel 21 News on the Midnight Hour show. And Larry was informed if he did not take this job, then the talent agency would be dropping him as a client. So Larry took the job. This show and later became one of the best shows in all of horror. They host of HR Bloodengutz, or Larry decided to do an original show that would be based on all the holidays. And basically that show turned most major holidays into messed up horror versions of the holiday that Larry was taking the role of HR Bloodengutz, and he took it way too seriously and started to literally turn into the horror host. So much that he demanded to be called that instead of his actual real name, Larry. Later on, the holiday horror show's ratings began to tank due to the episodes being disturbing, and the loss of advertising revenue led the producer, John Reynolds, to tell Larry that the show was going to be canceled. This sent Larry into a frantic rage. He kidnapped the producer and some of the crew and decided that he wanted to host and broadcast the holiday show one more time. Larry then began to torture them all in the holiday sets, with each member of the crew being a different episode of the show. By the time the police showed up to arrest Larry, he had tortured the producer Reynolds on one of the sets, and he was suffering from mortal wounds. And then when he was taken to the hospital and unfortunately later died, the other members of the film crew were released, surviving and ultimately quitting the news station like most people would.
Yeah, absolutely.
As for Larry, he was taken to the Cary, Ohio penitentiary, serving life, and showed no remorse for killing the producer. 15 years later, Larry would escape from the prison to host one final broadcast, which is HR Bloodengutz Presents a Halloween Fright-Tacular during Halloween Horror Nights 35. So why don't you give us a brief background on who's actually doing this house this year?
Yeah, and the show director and writer for this house is Ramon. and he posted on his X that he has had some of the most fun expanding on the lore of this HHN classic, and it's a true passion project. So you're definitely going to be able to see how much because Ramon was closer. He hasn't been in the game for a very long time, and all his houses are the last couple ones he's been knocking them out the park. But a lot of people in the community are excited that Ramon is doing this house. And he's been closer to being just a fan than an actual creative designer. So he's more entwined and knows what the community wants. And one of his most recent project or houses he has done was El Artista, and that was a fan favorite from last year at HHN 34. But
that
Jordan
was a
A,
banger.
yeah, absolutely. I wish it was a little bit more scary, but I mean, it was definitely a very.
Sometimes you need a small breakup of the scares with pure horror aesthetics, and
Yeah, I mean, it was a haunted house in a haunted house. It was pretty sweet. But Jordan A. Hill, he is a video team. He's part of like the video team with Horror Nights, and he partnered with Ramon. They created a Q video for this house, which we haven't seen in a while. Like the closest thing to it would probably be the Wyatt 6 from last year or Chucky Ultimate Kill Count from HHN 32, where it's just a video that plays in line, and it's just going to show you what's going to happen in the house. It's like the mini episode. But Jordan, he said on his Twitter that the video content is probably some of his favorite of the year that he's created so far. And this house also has one of his favorite scenes of the year. So it's definitely going to be a good. It's going to be a good house to walk through because that's with Jordan doing the video and Ramon being the designer and writer for this house. It's going to be like the passion because both Jordan's been doing video stuff for a while now, but both of them, they're fans first of the event. So it's like you can just see the passion and like the love for the event coming out in their product. But D, why don't you give us a brief description about the article that was paired with this house?
So, according to the sources that were leaked, Ramon sat down and did an interview with Bloody discussing. They posted an article along with the house announcement, and I'll touch on some of the key points, but please go and read the article, get all the details for this house. But they said
show
that
your
the house,
support of the article
for sure, because we definitely didn't get this
ourselves. We're just hitting some key points from the article. So please go show the actual Bloody discussing the article. Show them your support.
But they did say that this house will be dedicated to the best holiday of the year and is a sequel to the original house. It's been 15 years since the last house and picks up exactly where it left off. Larry has returned to the WKMB studio to present a Halloween marathon of straight-to-TV of Halloween films that were his favorite that he never got to showcase when he was working before he went to prison. But Ramon goes on to say he is expanding on the lore of Blood and Guts to notes that the lore developed over 35 years of it. And one key detail to note is with Blood and Guts is not only that it is tracking the horror host story progression, it also features the same actor who portrayed him 15 years prior.
Yeah, so they got the original dude that played HR Blood and Guts in the house in 21 to be to do all the videos and stuff for the Q line. So it's like literally HR Blood and Guts is 15 years older. So it's literally the same dude, which is pretty cool. It's just like a nod to the HHN fans that it's literally the same dude doing it.
So all the HHN super fans out there will really love that small detail.
Yep.
Because I mean, it would have took nothing for them to just hire anyone to portray that, but to go out of their way to do that shows that they actually care about this house. Ramon reminds us that it's been over a decade since we last saw the horror host, and that time and a prison stay have altered the horror host as we last saw him. He has a new look and is leaning into his imprisonment, which what fans can expect with his experience this time is Blood and Guts will host one demented Halloween marathon. That there are 7 movies that are being presented as 7 different scenes in the haunted house as part of the marathon, and some of the movies are callbacks to HHN's past. We will get to see your horror host in video fashion between each of the scenes, and he is essentially going to usher you into the next movie one by one. Ramon later said that they want to make sure that you are being transported into the worlds of each of these movies, and they are all completely different from one another. Some examples of these movies that he is presenting is black and white zombie film in an old graveyard. Another example is a Halloween party that is taking place inside of a tiki bar that is overtaken by monsters of the night. So different things like that has different aggressors and different environments, but all tied back to the world of Halloween. So each film will be completely unique, but all based on the world of Halloween. At the end of the article, Ramon says HR Bloodengutz Presents, a Halloween Fright-Tacular may be a sequel house, but one made thoroughly accessible to newcomers through its unique setup and Halloween atmospheres. So even though this is a callback to the previous house, they definitely had done a great job as far as
like
hitting the keynotes on some nostalgic parts from 21.
Yeah,
but at the same time,
we haven't seen an HR Bloodengutz house, right? And the Welcome to Scary, which he featured in that house also, was the year before I started going, so I didn't get to see that house either. So this will be the first time I get to see an HR Bloodengutz house. And even though I haven't seen it, and yeah, I know the lore, but if I was like just a random goer to HHN, I would be able to just pick up and go into the house as if you don't have to know nothing to go into this house. It's a sequel to the original, but it's also brand new, so you don't have to know really anything.
Yeah. So you want to tell us a little bit about the spec on the house?
Yeah, it's the way it's sounding with the videos. Like he's ushering you from scene to scene. It's going to be a new movie. It reminds me a lot of like Slaughter Cinema, which you saw Slaughter Cinema 2 with that's like all the B movies that had like the zombie strippers, the Jaws, Cyborgs.
For what it was, I mean, you couldn't have asked for more than what it gave us.
Oh yeah, it's in the same vein as Slaughter Cinema, but it's different because all of these movies that we're going to are Halloween movies, and not just going to be like random B movies. So, like something we could see, because they're going to bring back. He said in the article that there's going to be some callbacks from Halloween stuff, so we could see like I think it might have been the original Slaughter Cinema, but there was a like a movie poster on the wall, and it showed pumpkin guts, and that could be a very I could see them go into that, and like some of the examples of the stuff we're going to see is a zombie, a black and white zombie film in an old graveyard, and a tiki bar that is overtaken by monsters of the night. That's 2 of the 7 movies we're going to see that they mentioned in the article with Bloody Disgusting. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm excited because it's going to be my first HR Bloodengutz house. I'm ready to see my boy Larry, and based off of like you said, they said it's going to be changed, so he's probably still going to be in his prison suit, like the stripes,
right?
So because they said he's trying to piece what he used to look like back into present day, because he went to the old abandoned news station. So he's probably still in his prison suit, but he found like a toupee or something because he's probably bald because it's 15 years later, and he's putting it on. He's redoing like his makeup from the original, where he has the black eyeliner up underneath his eyes.
And speaking of Ramon, this is now his 3rd announced house that he's involved with, right?
No, actually, I thought it was also. He is doing Sinners, and he is doing this house. I thought he was doing Jack and Oddfellow, but I think that's Matt Flood. Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, brother, if Ramon's doing these 3. That's like, and these are all of those are high in my list, like in my hype list so far, probably.
I mean, even with the 2, I mean, that's 2
of
the biggest
absolutely.
announcements
Sinners
so far.
And Bloodengutz by himself. Like, there's nobody else that I would probably want to touch Sinners, just because of how good Ramon does.
Because a movie like Sinners is going to require
Yeah.
some very short details to bring it to life.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully, I'm very excited for this house. It's going to be high on my hype list for sure, because that's just the HHN fan in me. Like, I want to see. Like, I love that this is not a sequel year. Holy shit!
So like a anniversary.
Yes, an anniversary year. Like, so I get to see stuff from the past that I haven't seen, even though I've been going for 4 years, 5 years now.
So this is your first anniversary. You started going the year after 30.
Yeah, we went 31. That was our first year.
Okay.
So this is technically my first year. Yeah, my first anniversary.
This is your 4th year. This is our 5th year.
We got our second house announcement on Originals Week, and that was Madlands Caged Cannibals. This house was announced on Wednesday, June 24th at 10:35, and according to the HNN News Spec Map, this house is believed to be at Soundstage 24B, and that house description is: in a haunted house, a defunct zoo is now a deadly domain of wearing cannibals faction to have taken their animal instincts to extremes. They're territorial, they're hungry, and your lunch.
Sounds very interesting to get into.
I don't know about this. Is like a wild card of a house, because I don't know.
It can either be a complete dud or it can just be an absolute shocker.
Yeah, like this house, because normal the cannibals are like they choose to be cannibals. Yes. This house, in the article we'll get into in a second, they mentioned that animals are like extinct. There is no more animals on Earth. So that's why these cannibals are in a zoo, and they're taken over as like they're trying to mimic what animals used to be, because all they got is info from like off the walls and books and stuff like that.
Because to me, I mean, this could potentially have some ramifications, kind of like just from my little experience going. A house like Dolls from last year, like that was a wild card to me, but ended up being an absolute banger when it came to the lineup. I mean, most people had it in their top 5, and probably going into the season, no one really gave it too much thought.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this house, it could be really good or really bad. Like I'm curious to see. But in the article of this house, Laura Saul sat down and did an interview with Cinema Blend, and once again, please go show your support for the article. We're just hitting a few highlights. But Laura stated during a meeting last April, one of their new scenic designers, which is like the people that create the house, like Dylan Koloff, he's a scenic designer. They had an idea for a house of a post-apocalyptic zoo that is infested by a tribe of cannibals, because animals are extinct and humans took the tropes and traits of the animals that once lived in the zoo. And later on in this article, Laura said it's a bloody house, and one of the bloodiest houses of the event this year. The tribe takes on the traits and fashions based off of old zoo signage and just old things laying around in the zoo. So you're going to have people probably dressed up as like tigers and giraffes and elephants, like trying to mimic what they look like. And the tribes, they're not really positive on the traits of the animals, because it's so like animals are so far from being like, they're so far extinct that they don't know exactly what they look like. And Laura went on to say that this house is going to be very intense and very bloody and very like in your face, which
one of the bloodiest houses.
Yeah, so if it's going to be in your face, bloody, like, so it's going to probably because it's animals, like they're trying to mimic animals, it's probably going to be the smelly house of the year too, which I'm not looking forward to that, because like it just reminds me of like the Terrifier shit room. Yeah, that shit about got me last year. I was like, oh my god, this is bad.
I normally don't have a weak stomach when it comes to smells and
Yeah, same. But that
nasty, but that got me as well.
Yeah, and then seeing it too, just and like that smell, and you're just like, oh my god. But when guests enter the Madlands, they're transported into a fictional dystopian world where a tribe of cannibals take on the traits of zoo animals when hunting the prey. And walking through this house, we are
and just to provide a little bit of spec of what we might see in this house, I think we'll see some humans who are dressed up like animals, like you mentioned, but they aren't 100% accurate
at all.
And in the article, talking about how aggressive this house will be, maybe it'll be something kind of like Insidious the further. So just a bunch of jump scares where you really don't have a breath to take before the next one comes.
That's what I hope it's like. I hope it's like Insidious, to where it's just like
zero
relentless in your
recovery time.
face. Yes, absolutely. And they mentioned that there's a conga line of food being served, and we're the conga line, because when we walk through the house, we're one behind the other, so it's like a conga line.
I mean, yeah, what is there to say when you're into a house full of cannibals?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, my hype level for this one is I'm more skeptical, because I hope this is like the sleeper house, because everybody's kind of like, I don't know about how this is gonna look, kind of deal. So I'm hoping that this is like the sleeper house.
But just as much as anybody, when you have a house that's super aggressive, doesn't give you much downtime, and it's like no time for recovery. That can sometimes hide some detailed specifics or some aesthetic inequalities that don't necessarily meet up to HHN expectations as far as looks goes. But if it's as aggressive as they're making it out to be, then I think it'll be a solid house for sure.
But I mean, Insidious levels of aggression, that's a tall bar to live up to.
I mean, they also said the same thing about Jason. Maybe Jason could have been, had the layout been better. And it's all about going to be how the path is.
What's going to save this isn't a soundstage, so it's a lot bigger of an area,
and they have freedom to do what they need to do with it instead of being in Fast and Furious.
I'm pretty sure this is in the same spot as Grave of Flesh from last year.
Oh, that'll be fine.
Yeah, because Grave of Flesh had big sets.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I'm not entirely positive, so don't quote me on that. But I'm pretty sure this is where Grave of Flesh was.
And I think having it more in soundstage areas, you got a little bit more freedom of how you lay it out. You're not bounded to spaces. So I mean,
hopefully it's built like a Dylan Koloff house, kind of. I don't think he's designing this house. Probably the girl or the new designers. She's probably designing this house since it was her idea.
Maybe we'll get a new style that maybe she'll hit a home run, and then she'll be one of those highly fan favorite designers when it comes to some of these more aggressive houses. So, I mean,
and
they wouldn't put her on this type of house if they didn't think that she'd be able to deliver.
It's her, like, the designer came up with this house, so it's probably it's her passion project. It's her baby, so she's gonna put everything she's got into this house, so she can show that I can do this too. Like, she's a relatively new designer, is what it said in the article.
And if you're starting out as a designer and your baby, quote unquote, is a aggressive first house, I mean that's a lot to start with, unless you can hit it out.
Yeah, and especially it's a dystopian world of cannibals that are in a zoo. That's a lot of topics you got to nail in order to show it to what you want it to be.
Yeah.
And this is, like I said, this is a sleeper house for me. I hope it's going to be great. I think it'll probably be pretty good. I hope it's no museum from your first year, which sounded great on paper, and then it was not good at all.
Which, I mean, that was had an aesthetic background. It wasn't presented as an aggressive style house. I felt like
we thought we were walking into like a lore, so you would see old stuff from houses, and it was not that at all.
You got to come with the heat if you're already coming out the gate saying
it's going to be aggressive, it's bloody, it's smelly. They're going to be in your face.
If you under deliver on a house that you advertise as that, then you're pretty much like writing your own ticket of not being asked to do many more houses after that, in my opinion.
It's going to be good. So, D, why don't you take us into that third announcement we got?
So house number 3, our third announcement in Originals Week is Cybergoria. This house was announced on Thursday, June 25th at 10:35, and according to HHN spec map, it's located in Tent 4. A brief house description: awaken thousands of years in the future in the haunted house and brave cold world driven by machines with a singular goal to make you live forever, even if it kills you.
Yeah.
So you want to give us a little bit of details on who designed this house and your immediate thoughts on what that looks like to you?
Yeah, this house is designed by Matt Flood and David Hughes, who have created and truly brought an unsettling experience to life. Basically, is what the I'm pretty sure Ramon tweeted that out. This house I'm excited about because it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be the cold house. Because it says wake up in a cold dystopian world. And what's crazy, it's another like dystopian world or like apocalyptic kind of deal where machines have taken over.
So it's just a different style.
It's like a futuristic house kind of.
And if you know me, your boy loves being cold. So I'm all about a house that's got a below temperature.
Also, with this house, there was an article released on Game Rant. They sat down with Matt Flood, and once again, I'm gonna keep repeating myself. Please go show your support to the article. Like, we're just giving you some highlights, but a few things from it. Matt Flood says that guests will go through the freezing process and a disturbing future where man and machine have melted and even get to see what the world has become. In Cybergoria, the story involves a corporation called Bio-Immortal Bionic Intelligence System, and they offer customers immortality.
That was a mouthful.
Yeah, I'm just going to call it, I don't know, like Bio-Immortal or something, Biobonics.
Biobonics is a cool word.
Yeah. Because I mean that I'm not gonna be able to say Bio-Immortal Bionics Intelligence System, but they offer 2 different options now. You got your luxury, and then you got your cheap version where only like pieces of you get saved in the cryo freeze.
Now we about that luxury package.
Oh yeah, and of course the corporation, they're offering immortality, the dream of immortality, which requires technological advancements for you to be brought back to life. Once they freeze you, basically like the cheap version, they put you in a big old Ziploc bag, throw you in the freezer, and whenever they hope technology catches up, you come back out and you're alive forever.
So you got your Amazon version and your Temu version.
Basically.
Okay.
But I'm excited because the way it's sounding, we're gonna walk through and be frozen. So it sounds like we're getting our cold house, which I am down.
Everybody bring your hoodies.
I ain't bringing no hoodie. I'm walking in there short sleeve and shorts.
Oh, me too.
We might have to do this house a couple of times if it's gonna be the cold house of the year. Just keep going through it back once we get hot.
Yeah, you tired of sweating? Make your way through this house.
Yep.
So Cybergoria is for you.
Yeah, I'm about to say, if y'all don't have Express and this house has got a long wait, y'all got something to look forward to once you walk in. Exactly. And it says we're going to see what the world looks like after the machines have taken over. So it's probably like you're going to see really no humans, like just actual humans. You'll see like cyborgs, which there might be somebody that's more machine, and then like a few people that are not, like they're kind of like a cyborg where they're like half machine or whatever. But it's gonna be the cold house. I'm excited for that. I always love a cold house. Need more cold houses, and I'm looking forward to seeing like the science lab, stuff like that we're gonna go into.
Yeah, so I mean, expect some low temperatures and a lot of fog if that's the case.
And from what I heard, this house is also supposed to be very, very intense and getting comparisons to Insidious. So that's 2 houses that are supposed to be actually scary.
Which, I mean, I guess it depends on what our listeners deem as scary, but I figured any Halloween Horror Nights fan or any Halloween haunted house fan, aggression would scare anybody.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it's supposed to be in your face, 90 to nothing.
I like the houses that mix the two. Like there's some houses you can have just bad scenic and it be in your face, like kind of like what Jason was like last year.
Yes,
it was supposed to be.
It had some scary moments, but it
had scary moments and it had decent scenes. Like the first half of Jason had great scenic. Like you got to see the shack, his mother's head on the table. You got to see the yellow beetle that was in the middle where his mom was. But after that, it just went downhill.
But then you compare to something like Insidious, you have straight aggression, but then you have the church pew scene that you're walking, you're chilling until you get another scare actor, and then pump up the aggression after that, and then you have a little downtime. But during the downtime, the aesthetics are wonderful. Like great callbacks to the movies themselves. There's no what's going on questioning in your head. Like you know exactly what's going on, but you're also getting a little bit of a break from the aggression.
Yeah, and with this being an original, like I hope it's closer to like Blood Moon Scenic, because like I want to see, because it says we're going to be able to see the world. Like, so when we walk in the entrance, I hope we're walking into the science lab as if like we just bought our ticket to be cryo froze or whatever, and like we go through that scene and then we walk out like the other side and it opens up and you just see like sets of the world, like where you could see a different area from where you're at now that you're going to walk through later. So I hope we get to actually, like it says we're going to see what the world looks like. I hope we get to see it, and it's probably going to be chaotic. Like you're going to see big machines, which makes me think they're reusing the mech suits from Fallout from last year.
Okay.
So that'll probably be in here because they want to use those suits again because they probably paid a lot of money for them.
There's nothing wrong with a little bit of Easter eggs.
Oh yeah, but our fourth and final house. This house was announced on Friday, June 26th, and it is Invasion, Alien Abduction. And according to HNN Spec Map, this house is located in tent number 1, and the house description is make contact with horrors from worlds unknown. In this haunted house, where a ship full of greys have torn apart a remote homestead in search of test subjects.
So, to give a brief description on who's designing this house, and written and designed by Charles Gray and Manuel Cordero, and they have some really cool effects and knocked out of the park, according to Ramon. What are your thoughts on Charles Gray and Manuel?
I like Charles Gray's house. He's like a OG of Horror Nights. He's been doing it for a long time. He's come up with some great houses, and unfortunately I was hoping this was going to be a sequel to the Invasion Scare Zone, but we'll get into it later in the article. They basically come out and say no, this is not a sequel. Because the Invasion Scare Zone, which we talked about on the spec maps from the past spec maps, is like your goofy aliens, and the way it's sounding, the way that house description reads, it does not sound like they're goofy, funny aliens. It sounds like they mean business and they're here to kill you, basically.
They're about that action.
Yeah, you're their test subject and they don't care.
To deep dive into that article, Charles Gray sat down with Nerdist and did an interview on the House Invasion Alien Abduction once again. Want to remind everybody to please show your support. Read the original article. We wouldn't be able to give you this content without these guys pumping out these articles for us to react to and give our thoughts on.
Yep.
He goes on to say that guests will witness a terrifying encounter with an aggressive, unseen alien craft that has abducted a family and its livestock, and the Greys are plotting to tear everyone apart. This house will take place in the Southwest versus your typical alien encounter of the Midwest, but this house is really violent and gory.
It's another
Like,
gory house.
there seems to be a trend with 35.
Violent and gory. It seems like this year they're taking the originals and they want to be like in your face. We're having no fun, loving stuff. The only one that might be fun and loving is HR Bloodengutz.
Yeah, I mean, but it's still that one plans to be gory. It just seems like the more blood and gore, the better when it comes to this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they later go on to mention how they played with the lighting and that there will be vibrations in the floor. So a lot of movement when it comes to taking a stroll through this house. One of the scariest things about these grays is that they just don't care that they're grabbing animals, people. It's almost like the little kid with a magnifying glass kind of thing that they just don't care what they puncture. They just want to terrorize everyone. Gray goes on to say later in the article, for longtime fans, this house has that old HHN feel. This is most definitely kind of a love letter for those who have been coming for a long time and supporting Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah. Yeah, so the way this sounds, it sounds like it's very aggressive, and the aliens, they don't care. They're taking everybody. They gonna take your dog. They gonna take your cow. They gonna take you. They gonna take your sister.
What's the famous clip? Hide your wife, hide your kids.
Yeah, hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband, because they're taking everybody out here.
Yeah. So what can we speculate on this house?
Unfortunately, we know now, based off the article, it's not a sequel to the Invasion Scare Zone. And it's more of like a serious type of alien. It's the grayscale like ones. And they mentioned in the article also that when you see the alien from like afar, he looks different. When you get close, like they have tentacles and claws and like stuff like that. And they sound ruthless. And Charles Gray mentioned in the beginning of the article that we will see an alien spaceship. So I'm wondering if we're going to see a big old alien spaceship when we walk in, which I hope we do. I hope that's the opening scene. Even if like they did the mirror trick where they only build half the spaceship and then they put it on the other half and it makes it look like it's extended. And
walk in, see an alien spaceship with just a straight beam of light pointed at.
Yeah, I pointed straight down, and then like the vibrating floor, I could see that being like underneath the light, and it's vibrating like you're getting abducted.
Oh yeah.
And hopefully the vibrating floor is not like in Major Suites where we get turned into a gummy bear where it's just that big slam and the floor vibrates.
Yeah.
Because that slam was pretty loud. But it just might be the old man in me. But this house, it reminds me a lot of like the movie Signs from when we were kids.
Oh yeah. Back when we were kids, you couldn't really appreciate what Signs was.
Yeah, dude, it just scared me. Like that was a legit movie that scared me, and it traumatized me because after that I did not want nothing to do with no cornfield, no alien, nothing.
Can't say I blame you.
But what's your hype level for these houses so far?
I mean, I don't want to be a little overzealous, but probably a 9.5 out of 10. Like I'm more of the fan that like appreciates the aggressive tone of some of these houses.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. All these original houses sound like they're going to be in your face gory.
Because someone that's not easily scared, and I'm not saying like I'm one of those that walk in all stone faced.
I don't really get scared in HHN houses.
But someone that doesn't, like you and I, the more aggressive tone houses provide that scare factor.
Insidious got me a couple times.
Oh yeah, I mean, but it just kept a good pace of aggression, whereas some of these other aesthetic houses, while they're great and we appreciate it, and they're still solid houses, that they just don't give you that scare factor. So as a fan that isn't awfully scared, the aggressive natured houses definitely are a great twist and a great addition to this year for sure. What about you?
I'm pretty excited for these houses. As a matter of fact, it's if you include Jack and Oddfellow, I think we got a good mixture of different kinds of houses. We got some sci-fi houses with Cybergoria and Invasion. They normally don't do sci-fi houses, so it's cool to see them stepping into that world. We got like your classic Halloween with HR Bloodengutz, and then you got the wild card of Madlands, the Cannibals.
I mean, they've pretty much touched every part of horror. It sounds like from all the announcements we've done in previous
and
episodes.
The speculated ones to come. I mean, we still got what Hellraiser on the thing, Ozzy Osbourne, and Evil Dead Burns, which is your classic horror, your new horror, and like just your rock and roll like music house, which is
right. Cool. I mean, so one of those three are probably coming up as far as announcements. Really excited to see.
Normally during 4th of July week, it's normally dead. So I don't expect there to be any announcements this week coming up, and it'll probably be, if I had to guess, on the 10th or no, the 9th, which is the Thursday after 4th of July. I would guess that would probably be Evil Dead Burn, because the movie is set to come out on the 10th. Which means last year, the tickets for Frequent Fear dropped on the 10th last year, which would be the 9th this year. So hopefully
maybe we'll get a double dip of announcements. Not only we'll get another house announcement, but finally be able to cop some tickets.
Absolutely. Got to get... And with Express, I hope the rumors are not true that they're taking away Express. We need Express. Please.
Yeah, we didn't splurge last year, and I'm willing to pay this year.
Yeah, I'm not trying to wait in them 2-hour lines. I'm sorry. I want to go in, do my house, and then come back out, go eat some food, enjoy the scare zone, go into my next house.
Yeah, call it bougie.
I don't care, dude. I don't care how much it is. I'm buying it.
What's the meme? Take my money.
Exactly. Just here you go. I don't.
Yeah, whatever. Like
I don't even care, dude. I think the next announcement will be though Evil Dead Burn with the tickets.
I think what sold me last year on getting Express was the absolutely absurd wait time for Jason Universe, and then
that 2.5 hour wait in the heat,
and it was dark outside, and it was just a dry heat outside.
Yeah,
for a highly anticipated house, and then it being for better or worse a dud.
Supposed to be Insidious.
I mean, for the expectation and the hype level, it turned out to be a miss, in my opinion. I mean, I'm an advocate Jason fan when it comes to growing up and watching horror, and it just did not deliver for me.
Yeah,
solid house nonetheless. It just like maybe my expectations are too high. It just wasn't it, and because of that, I'm not waiting 2.5 hours for no more houses.
Oh yeah, no, I hope the rumor's not true and we're getting Express, and I know it's going to be limited, but your boy's going to be there, and I'm going to get it. I don't care. I could have got them last year. I had the opportunity to get them last year, and we decided against it. We decided we were going to wait with the people in the lines. But this year, no, I don't even care, dog.
That damn parlay.
Oh yeah, we would have, if we would have hit a couple parlays, we would have done a couple different things last year.
Austin Reese sold.
Absolutely. But that's gonna probably wrap it up for this week. Hopefully we'll be back here pretty soon with an announcement. If we don't talk to y'all before then, y'all have a happy 4th of July. Y'all stay safe. But why don't you start out that outro, D?
Yeah, thank you again. Like Wood said, thank you guys for watching. Remember to go back and check out all the articles that we mentioned. Show your support to those guys.
Please show your support of the articles, because like we said, we just gave you snippets. The articles are way longer. Like if we were to sit down and read it word for word, we would be here a lot longer than what we are. But go show your support, because this is something new they're doing. And if you don't show the support to the actual article, they might not do it again. And everybody wants them juicy details of these original houses, because we don't have much. Because normally what they used to do was they'd give you the house announcement and the little snippet of what it is. That's all they would give you for originals. So we're spoiled now. So please show your support.
Providing way more context to get your interest level way higher and hype level even more intense.
Get your little fix and get you more hyped for these original houses.
Like we mentioned at the beginning of the video, we have a new link tree. Please give that a click. Check all of our socials out. Catch us at Into the Fog Pod on both IG and TikTok, and Into the Fog HA channel, X and YouTube. Leave a like, subscribe, tell your friends about us. Hit the bell.
Give us a 5-star rating on Spotify if you enjoyed.
If you're excited by the next announcement, that bell is the only way you're going to be able to be notified that we dropped a new episode.
Yeah, like D said though, and on the link tree is in our IG bio. You click that, it'll pop up a screen. It has all these little icons, or you can hit the icons that are below the icons, and it'll take you to each individual page. And just go show your support to us.
Yeah, so you really only got to remember one: Into the Fog Pod on IG, hit that link tree, and then you have access to all of our socials to get your HHN fix.
TikTok, X, YouTube, Spotify, everything.
We're hitting all platforms. So you guys have a great 4th of July if we don't see you before then. And as always, we'll see you in the fog.
Peace.